Hello and welcome back to another edition of Penn State Sports Night. I'm Dugan Lloyd, joined alongside Hunter Pitcoff and Jarrett Daveler. With the trade deadline this Tuesday, tensions are high around the league as we get closer to the 4 p.m. cutoff. The time is now to go get that last piece for a playoff run. We have a developing story as Leonard Williams is on the move, but not far. The Jets have traded away former first-round pick for a 2020 third-rounder and a 2021 fifth-round pick. Guys, what does this show us about both teams?
This is actually the first trade ever done between the Giants and the Jets, and it's kind of a confusing deal because I did not expect the Giants to be buyers at the deadline, but here they are, and it's a weird move also for the Jets as they send one of their top defensive talents right across the pond to the Giants, and the Jets front office has just been a mess with the whole Kelechi-Osemele deal, and I don't know what to make of this trade, but it's just kind of surprising.
Yeah, definitely. Leonard Williams is a young, talented player. He's kind of lost his edge, so to speak, the last couple of years, but the Giants nevertheless are able to get another young, talented player to go with a young, talented nucleus they already have. And I think they gave up a fair price to get him. I don't think they overpaid or anything like that. But look at the Jets. I think it's more of an indictment why it didn't work out in New York because of their terrible front office. It just seems like a mess there. They cannot keep players in their own rights when they draft them. Their homegrown talent seems to be distraughted and wants to leave. So at the end of the day, you know, I think trading him, if you're not going to re-sign him, makes sense. But the fact that it got to that point is on the Jets.
Definitely. He has no sacks this year, so we'll see how that turns out. Moving to more of a contender, the 49ers picked up Emmanuel Sanders from the Broncos for a few late-round picks. How does this help the 49ers moving forward?
I think this definitely is a move that can push them over the edge. So far this year, their top two receivers, Marquise Goodwin and Dante Pettis, have each only caught one touchdown. Kyle Shanahan is a play-calling genius, and this gives him so much more depth at the receiver position. It's definitely going to help the 49ers offense and maybe give them a shot to make the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I'm going to say this right here, right now. Kyle Shanahan is the best play caller in football. I don't care what anybody else has to say. Getting a guy like Emmanuel Sanders is going to help Jimmy G big time as well. This offense, watching their offensive play calling is honestly beautiful. And I haven't even talked about the defense yet, which is arguably the best in the league as well. I think Emmanuel Sanders, is this the guy that, you know, completely changes the course of your franchise? No. But can he be that extra piece that can potentially make you the favorites in the NFC? I think so. So I got to credit the 49ers for making an aggressive move like this.
Sanders hasn't had much this year, not eclipsing 5 catches or more than one touchdown this year, but definitely it was something to look out for. Moving forward, what should we look out for as a possible move in the future?
Yeah, look, cold take right here. The Falcons are bad. They're not a good team. And a guy like Vic Beasley, I think it's time for him to go different ways. So you look at the Atlanta Falcons. They're 1-6 this year. That's very bad. Vic Beasley, he had that amazing 2016 run when he was first-team All-Pro, led the league with 15.5 sacks. But he hasn't really been the same since. I think trading him to a team like the Oakland Raiders makes a ton of sense for both parties involved. The Raiders can get another pass rusher. They were dead last in the league in sacks last year. They're currently 25th now. Getting a guy like Vic Beasley, A, makes sense, and B, I think it's a very likely destination right now. Atlanta probably is having a fire sale for all their players.
Well, the Raiders have actually been a better team than people expected this year, and their pass rush has just not been the same since that Khalil Mack deal. Their 4th overall pick, Clean Farrell, has only recorded 1 sack this year. So yeah, this move would definitely help them get to the passer and maybe win a couple more games to push them into the playoffs.
Definitely. And what's your prediction for this deadline?
A deal I see going down that would be a huge help to the Philadelphia Eagles would be going out and getting a piece in the secondary, which would be Broncos cornerback Chris Harris Jr. The Eagles secondary has just been atrocious this year. They've been getting thrown all over by quarterback week after week. Matt Ryan, Dak Prescott, Matt Stafford have just torched their secondaries. Orlando Scandrick was just cut. They need a piece. The Broncos are sellers at the deadline. Their team's falling apart. Chris Harris Jr., who's on the final year of his contract, would be a great piece that the Eagles could add to really improve their secondary.
Yeah, Chris Harris is a great player. He can play everywhere. The Eagles need anyone that can play anywhere at this point. As you allude to, Jared, that secondary may be the worst in the NFL. You never know what team the Eagles are bringing out on Sunday. It's either they're going to play great or they're going to play terrible. A guy like Chris Harris, he's a veteran. He brings that consistency. He brings that winning pedigree. And I think at the end of the day, if you're the Eagles and you want to make the playoffs, you got to do something because staying pat's not going to get the job done.
Definitely. We'll be on the lookout for Oakland and Philly as both squads make to look a push this playoffs. Unfortunately, that's all for us here at Penn State Sports Night. For Hunter Pitcoff, Jarrett Daveler, and myself, thank you for watching.
Thank you for watching our latest edition of Penn State Sports Night. If you're a fan of our content, please be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more clips. Also follow us on Twitter at PSSN TV and on Instagram at PSU Sports Night to keep up with the action. For all my colleagues, we are Penn State Sports Night.